Hello. Hi, beautiful people. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. I'm testing to see if my connection is stable enough to be live for at least 30 minutes. The situation has not been good with the internet since Thursday evening. We had a storm, and well, normally after a bit of rain in this area, all communications kind of suffer. So I hope you're doing well, you're having a nice weekend. Kind of trying to organize my things here. I don't have here my channel to be monitoring, but practically I just wanted to show what I've done this week, and that's it. So let me just set the comments here and give my initial welcome message. Just type here and send it. Okay, and I'm going to start by showing you what I did with the angel. This is from the book Wondrous Folk by Christine Karen. So what I did was this. I hope I'll get this up. I'm using the glitter watercolors that I got from one of the Walmarts that are around. And what I did was kind of replicate the feathers from the wing and then test a little bit of different combinations. And I tested my watercolors here and a lot of things going on here. But here you have the work in progress. I still have to work with the background because the background is pastels, chalk pastels, and I have to define the stars a little bit better. So that's what we have here. And I'm trying to move this one around so if you can get to see a little bit of the glitter that I applied here. It's probably not going to be picked from very clearly from the camera. But anyway, that's what we did here. The hair is this fiery red. I used gel pen to define the pupils and a little bit of a peach color with water. Yeah, cantaloupe, I think was name or something like that. So there you go. Okay, remember to like the stream and leave comments. The wings were totally colored using the like this. You can identify it much better. We have a mango, we have baby blue, we have yellow ochre, and a frozen color. So these were good for the wings. I'll probably intensify this a little bit. And then for the darker shadow, we're using a Prismacolor, a dark brown. Okay. I don't have much time to stream today, so it's going to be particularly fast. But here we go. So what to do with the wing? Well, normally I don't sharpen my first layer with colors. A pointy tip is going to get the pigment all through the paper, especially if it's very toothy or with texture. So as I just want kind of a light layer here with this very light blue, then that's what I do first. Then I add a little bit of this darker blue, that's the frozen color, in some areas. This blue is reflecting the sky. That's the idea, is to reflect a little bit of the light and color of the sky so we can integrate our character a little bit better. And of course, the shadow. Let me just move these a little bit far away. A little bit of light with this mango, kind of yellow-orange. And just showing you because I did this yesterday. Practically today, it's just to add a little bit of the shiny color. And the dark yellow ochre is for a little bit of the shadows. Okay. So once you have that, then you're ready to use or a brush or any of these with these deposits. And get your glittery watercolors ready. So normally what I do is that I add some of these colors. Let me see if I have my spray here. Yeah, okay. I'm going to spray off camera, so I don't want to get water all the way there. So you pick up some colors that you have here, add them to your brush, and we are ready to get started. You can use paper towel to get rid of pigment because it's too much. And then just very lightly, we're going to add this glittery effect. Unfortunately, the cameras don't pick this very, very well, but that's the way it is. So I start with the blue, and I'm not really very precise in the areas because I'm going to go and refine this a little bit later. This paper can take lots of water. And yeah, these glitter watercolors, they have got pigment, so they are pigmented enough if you use them particularly dry. But I just want the blue glitter here. I'm not recharging with a lot of pigment here, otherwise I'm going to cover most of the lines, and this is not realistic person. So let's not keep it real. Oops. Okay. I didn't check if anybody else was live at the same time, so if that is the case, I'm so sorry. I just want to leave this as kind of live recording, but not a lot of interaction in chat. Okay. Once this is there, we have to let it dry. I'm going to put it aside so it dries, and then just eliminate all the pigment that you can, because we're going to use the golden effect later on. So I've been having a lot of fun with this book, but I've also decided that I'm not going to get any more portrait books. The paper, it handles the alcohol markers fairly well, but yeah, it kind of wrinkled the paper a little bit. So just for you to know. And this is what I finished. I'm not going to add background. I've added the darker shadows with the same Prismacolor. We'll probably have to add maybe a little bit of more yellow or brown. I'm going to keep it like this. These are the colors that I have here right now. Just to blend a little bit of what's going on, I used alcohol markers. I don't have Ohuhus or Copics or something like that. I have this brand that is Chinese. We have Chisel and Bullet. And I have this one that is skin white, but it's really, really good for a base. And I have two others that could help with darker skin of different ethnicities, especially this book that has got a lot of different ethnicities to work with. But I think that the characteristic of this paper is much more to use color pencils. It's probably going to take longer to cover the areas of the face, but as I didn't like so much how especially I went over certain areas that were darker because of the shadows, and that's when the paper wrinkled a little bit. So I just have to remember and just keep one layer. Hi April, come on in. How are you doing? I hope you're doing really, really, really well. Okay, and just for the record, I'm still going to add maybe some darker shadows here, but that's to have fun with some of these. And then the trick that I wanted to show you has to do with color pencils and knives. So I'm doing well, thank you. Kind of in a rush because the weather is about to change. So I was able to do some adulting, the chores, the laundry, the cleaning, and all that. And now the sky is changing, but anyway. So I wanted to show you a trick, especially if you have creamy colors. So I'm going to be using first the Star Joys that are not that creamy, but they're supposedly good enough for this effect. And I'm doing here a small little example. If it works, it's going to be fantastic. And then I'm going to add the creamy color. Thank you. I enjoyed a lot coloring this girl. Got this frowny expression that is quite fun. But I'm going to have more different coloring books in following streams. So we have this one, and let me get a black one because I need different layers here. Okay, so most people, when they are creating effects for, let's say, hair, fur, or even feathers, they use artistic knives. I only have this one, but the artistic knife has kind of a longer blade. And what they do is that they take the knife and they scratch and they create different effects depending on what they have. Your layers need to be a little bit more intense. So let me do this. Let me see if I can add another one. If you're afraid of using knives, because this is sometimes it's scary. It's like needle felting, those things are particularly dangerous. Okay, but what you can do is just scratch a little bit of the surface and you can have different effects, especially if you have something underneath that could be uh, kind of lift up and show something underneath. So that's one effect. I wouldn't recommend this technique with the knives on thin paper. It's going to be a little bit complicated. And then I'm afraid of my own blades. So I have had this knife for probably 30 years or more. But I discovered that some time ago I got this ceramic blade knife to cut um, boxes and paper that I have in the kitchen. So this is ceramic and it's not metallic. And supposedly these can lift things much better. And you can get to see in the zoom that the effect was much better with this ceramic knife than with the metallic knife. What is the advantage? Number one, with this, you can cut your fingers and definitely you're going to tear the paper. Then don't use the knife with the kind of pointy side. Use it on the other side to create effects. So hair, whiskers, they can be easily worked like this. And then you can clean your knife easily with paper tissue. I wouldn't dare to do this here, because what if you press too much and then you're going to have a real bloody effect there. So if you want to, and you have a ceramic knife in the kitchen that you have not used for some time, you can get it. I got this one from, I think last year. Yeah, it was December. I got it from the Amazon Basics. So we still keep it in the box. It's better protected. So I have so many items in the kitchen that I prefer to keep them in a box. But now it's not in the kitchen. Now it's going to be part of my artist stash here. And look at this. Hair, texture, even rocks can be achieved with this. So let's see if the angel is ready. I added glitter, blue glitter, some minutes ago. And now I'm going to add the rest of the glitter here. So I have cleaned my water brush. I have my gold glitter watercolor ready here. So my water brush is ready, and I'm just going to go and add this little bit of glittery colors in my pigment. Very carefully. We don't want the face to be shining. We just want a little bit of this glittery watercolor on those feathers, especially these ones that are far away from the face. And I'm not looking at chat right now, but if you have questions about this, you can let me know. And it's not showing on camera, but my water brush has got this golden pigment. If you're using this kind of brushes or any kind of brushes, make sure before you do something else with another set of watercolor that you clean the bristles thoroughly. Otherwise, you're going to have glitter in there. And let me see, I don't have any direct light here, but if you move a little bit the paper, the glitter is there. I'm going to add something here and just add a little bit more water. I'm spraying off camera. So this one you can get to see that we've got some glitter on the bristles, and I'm just scattering this around, not that much. The blue part has also got some glitter already, so it's more your personal design here if you want to do this. I rediscovered I had this glittery set, so that's what we are doing here. There you go. Clean this one. I'm trying not to push too much because I have my drawing down here, but there you go. Okay. So far my internet is cooperating. I couldn't stream yesterday because my internet signal was just disconnecting and disconnecting, and I just couldn't do anything on that. So to finish this one up during the week, what I'm going to do is go through some areas of the background, not at the outside, but especially where the main figure is, and add with color. I think I'm going to be using the Star Joys. I'm not going to use the Prismacolors here. And add a little bit of intensity. And then I'm going to work with the stars. So I'll probably add the finished details on Instagram. So this book was fun. This one that we showed the girl. And I saw some books on discount and I got some of them, but they are coming next week. So I don't have them here. But I continued working with these, right? Hello, Tina. Hi, welcome. Lynn. Buenas tardes. There you go. So I worked a little bit with this cat that is by James Stan. And I indented or scored a little bit of the trees. I need to add a little bit more color there because it's a little bit, my light is coming from this side. But I just wanted you to see that this side of the cat is almost done. So I'm working here with Prismacolor Black, adding some areas with a gel pen, a little bit of the whiskers. That's why they're more intense here, wider. But this other side is still missing. The castle is almost ready. Okay, I'm going to try and keep her with this color here underneath. The cat is kind of coming out from an area that is foggy or something like that, and work the ground here. Haven't finished the effect. This cat has got some kind of a bloody past here, right? If we can say that. Okay. And let me show you this one, Tina. Let me just close my watercolors here. If not, my cat is going to have a glittery background. Okay. This girl is finished. There we go. Watercolor. Yeah, the paper is not great. But we have a little bit of alcohol markers, but mostly it's pencil. It's pencil work here. I just needed to add the shadows, but this one is almost finished. And I got another book from this author. You really don't know that it's her because until recent books, she has been adding her name, which I think is necessary. Even if you do things with artificial intelligence, mention that they are artificial intelligence, and of course, mention your name. I'm not particularly a fan of artificial intelligence, but some books are better than others, especially if the prompt is good. And this author, she has got very, very good prompts. I don't know if she writes the prompts or she buys from somebody who sells this, because yes, I have found sites. But I got another of her books. Look at this image. You can definitely tell it's artificial intelligence. Okay. And this one is also the same paper. It's the typical Amazon paper, so it doesn't have her name, but it's Tony B. Carter. It doesn't have her name. But most of the prompts here are really, really good. There are a lot of dragons and strange creatures like this. But I think the prompt creation in her books is good. This one should have been one of the first books. Maybe that's why she was not so sure about adding her name there. And the style, because the style is different. So you can get to see, for example, this kind of manga kind of drawing. This one realistic with flowers. And when you are coloring the flowers, that's when you know it's artificial intelligence, because the petals don't make sense. But most of the prompts are okay. This kind of gremlin. Yes, I know, Tina. I know you don't like Amazon paper. Yeah, but Didi offered a very good option, that is to scan these images and have them printed in toned paper or cardstock. But I think only if you really like an image and you would love to have it framed or something like that, then I would probably do that. But these books are good for practice and learning how to use your material. This one has got a very, very bold line here. I don't like these kind of creatures that much. I have a friend who was haunted by one of those. But for example, look at this. It's kind of a bull unicorn thing. But what I like is that the background is really, really soft. So I think this one is going to look good with pastel chalks and color pencil. Too muscular to be a horse, but yeah. Yeah, I need toner for my printer. My toner just ran out. I have a laser printer. So if eventually I find in one of my books an image that I would like to scan and print, another very muscular horse, yeah, with muscles that don't exist. Yeah, because I have drawn horses before, so I know the shapes and the muscles in a horse. So, and this kind of turtle monster, it looks fun. But yeah, there's a way to escape the thick lines, but if they are too thick, then it's going to look awful if you try to eliminate the lines. But I think I like the majority of the creatures here because they are dragon-like. This one is very strange. It's a combination of steampunk, a rabbit, gremlin on a spaceship. So that's interesting. And here is where you can get to see that is artificial intelligence all the way. And there's a misprint here because the ink is too light. But anyway, impossible for a horse to have a muscle like this. No leg. The behind is terrible. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Come in. So, And this one is like an alien kind of strange thing. But yeah, I think I'll use some of these images as inspiration. I like this one. And the other one. I already have I have a lot of books of dragons and unicorns and things like that. That I shouldn't be getting more books, but anyway, I'm very easily enabled. I have to say that. Okay. Yes, I know. But this one is my favorite so far by Selina Fennec. And she's got a compilation with all her best works. Something like this thick, just imagine. But as I have got 3 books, I think it's more than necessary. Here you have the summary of the images. And what I like about these books is that you always get a second set. So if you mess up one page, no big deal. You can go to the second part of the book and have the same image. So you can color it again. And I think I have here a work in progress I have not finished, but this one was done only with 2 colors, red and blue. And there you go. Just 2 colors. One of those typical elementary school B color thing, and just different shadowing. Oh yeah, don't tell her that, Tina. But yeah, sometimes you put the links, or Dar puts the links on Amazon on the chat, and they are not delivered to Mexico. So that's why I'm easily enabled, but Amazon makes sure that they are not delivered here. This was with water-based markers, but I protected this fold here. And I have another one somewhere here that I know. Oh, look at this one. This one had cats, so that's why I love it. I normally don't add a lot of backgrounds to my colorings. I rather keep the backgrounds white sometimes, but don't ask me why. Maybe because I was so lazy in coloring backgrounds. And this one is the work in progress. This one still needs some shadows, but I did here base layer of color pencil, and then with water-based fine liners, I created the scales. I'm going to see if my camera picks this up by moving it a little bit. So there you go. Oh, and she's really quick, right? Dar is really, really quick. So this is my work in progress that I have to finish. So before I start new colorings, I really need to finish the work in progress that I have. So I'm not going to start anything here until I finish this dragon and this cat. Okay, they are the ones that are going to be finished. But from Selina, I have got another book, and this one is like 9 years old. And this one is the mermaids. And I like mermaids, but this is one of my favorite ones. I colored this one in 2017, I think, with different effects. So just to have fun. Here I colored a lot. This turtle is also one of my favorites, with a very limited palette for the turtle and the background. So we have got pastels and we have got color pencils. So, and I haven't done much in this one. This one is interesting. And I don't think the lines are particularly bad, but the same, the paper is very thin, so you have to be very careful if you use water-based something, because it's going to it's going to go through. So I normally have 1 or maximum 3 books from each author. Well, that's what I try, but sometimes I don't fulfill my. And I have got this one also from 2017. I never put the name. Don't ask me why. But anyway, nobody's here going to comment. Steal my coloring book collection. I like this fairy. The camera is not picking up the effect that I have on the wing, but this one has got fine liners. You can get to see how the paper was affected a little bit. But the background, the original doesn't have anything, so I added the leaves and some branches and everything. This one was difficult to color because I was on a retreat. We were in another city in Mexico, and my friend invited me to go and visit her apartment. And her apartment complex has, yeah, she still has it. So this complex has got like 5 swimming pools, and I love swimming, and I love swimming pools. So I was, the situation. Should I go and just color next to the swimming pool and enjoy the kind of the breeze because it was very, very nice weather, or I should just go and swim? It was a difficult decision. We were there like 5 days, so I was able to finish this one and the one that you saw before. One of my favorites as well. I eliminated the lines from this owl by doing pointillism. Little dots. This was crazy. That's why I don't finish my colorings in a single day, because it's impossible. But you can get to see at the back what happens with water-based markers. But look at the hair and the flowers, combinations. This one, also one of my favorites. I tried to get the moon effect. It was not very effective because I have the lines, but anyway, I liked how it looks because I also eliminated the lines from the wings with dots using gel pens. So it looks cartoony, but it looks illuminated. This one, not necessarily my favorite, but I had to work with greens. Thank you, Lisa. There you go. Lots of water-based markers here. And this one here was my first time trying the elimination of the lines from the moon. But it's basic coloring, not a lot of. This one with, I use alcohol markers, as you can get to see here. So the page got affected, but I use acrylic. I don't put the paper, I use acrylic. So I can cover this one. And this one was recent, from 2025. So there you go. And that's what I have done on these books. So there you are. Okay. I don't have, as I said, a lot of, I have like several pages from different books finished. The only author that I have more than 3 books is Kerby Rosanes. I have 6 books by Kerby Rosanes. So this is what I have. Hi, Pew. Welcome in. And I'm not planning to get any more books by him. Okay. I know, Pew, you have him in direct call. I have not even started Geomorphia. And I think the book and the images are quite good. So this one is pending. I have started this one. Ooh, look at this. this. Turtles. I finished this one in January this year. This, I started with the trees. Again, no name, because I don't like it. And I think here, the only image that I have fully finished from this book is this gorilla. So, keeping this paper to protect the other page. Everything is acrylic here, so it's dry, so no big deal. And yeah, that's the only thing that I have done here. What I like about his books is how you discover the details. From this book, I finished the turtle house. Nice, I like this one. And I think that's the only thing that I have done here. From Mythomorphia, I think this one is also new. I have not started anything. So this one is new. So this one is going to go to the ones that I will work with. This one I think is also new. Yeah, with no name. I have not started anything here. Not yet. But what I don't like, and some authors still do this, is that they give you the pages for you to complete. And yeah, you can do it, but sometimes it's not what you're looking for. What you want is an image that is ready, so you can just add colors, right? Oh no, I have something here. Yeah, this one, but it's not finished. This side and this side. There you go. Okay. Yes, I have seen the pages, Tina. You're doing a great job with the cat. Yes, I know. This is the one that I have done more. This is the only one that has got a name. That's it. No more. All the other books don't have a name. This one is not finished. This one is in progress. Still in progress. And here I used some markers to add. I don't know if these stained this part, so I have to go and solve that situation. The unicorns. I still need to finish a little bit of the horses here. Unicorns, the wave, but it's mostly finished. I have done a lot in this book. But yeah, this is what I don't like. Complete the page. No, give me something ready. Yeah. I already have a lot of instructions. This half fish is done. And here I put everything. The paper warps a little bit. Lots of effects. It says, fill the page with bats. No, I just added this strange texture that I don't remember what I did. Turtles. So the ones that I have to doodle, they are not going to be completed right now. Here I have the octopuses. Okay. Chameleons from some years back. This was fun. And I'm going to use acrylic here. Then we cannot say this is a chicken, but this side is fairly completed, but we are missing the other side. This is one of my favorites. I totally disliked the shape of his orcas. They were not anatomically correct. So this is the only one that I redraw this one. I had to because I didn't like the orcas. And I add my own style here. Oh, these guys. I think this was the first page I had here. With the ghosts. The figures. They are all white and figurine. And The Kraken. There you go. Okay. And those are the 6 books that I have by Kirby Rosanes. No more books. I wanted at a certain time the dark fairy tales, but then I said, oh, come on, you only have 6 books. And there are some that you have not started, so no way I'm getting another book. Okay, thank you. That was when I was very, very young. That's one of the first animals I learned how to draw were orcas, dolphins, and horses. So I know the anatomy of those animals by heart. So that's why when I see a strange horse or unicorn with strange legs, like the ones that we have just seen before, then it's like, no way. Okay. Some kind of, just adding this here. Let me just check my timing. Okay, it's 1:14 here. My dad is not hungry yet, so that's good. Because I have to go and prepare something for lunch. Not that complicated. I already have got pasta. I have the side dishes. I'm just going to fix something with some sausages, pepper. I have a green pepper, onion, and I have chicken as well. Shredded chicken, and it's already cooked, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Tomorrow we start the second part of the term. I'm nervous. We don't have a lot of students enrolled, and we don't want our groups to be closed. So they are giving the students tomorrow as the deadline to enroll. Okay, yeah, that's right. I just saw some people reviewing the latest book by this girl, Joanna Basford. I have 3 of her books. My complaint with her is that her drawings are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I have got here a sample of one of her pages. Let me see if I can find it, or if I trash it already. And it was Rooms of Wonder, I think. Oh, yeah. This, for me, is impossible to color. If she continues working with these mini details, no, it's very difficult for me to color that sample page. So that's why I didn't buy the book. It was really, really hard. I had to get my magnifying glass and try to color there. When I do fur, I really don't go I don't worry too much about where the hair goes, especially these cats facing the wind. So, no big deal. All right. View, I'm going to show you the angel. I think it's dry already. I added the glitter, so this is ready. Just waiting for it to dry a little bit. So I put it aside for a second. Yeah, she's getting very repetitive, Tina, and I don't like that. But we have to understand that she's under a contract. She's one of the best sellers around the world in adult coloring. But maybe she's already tired. Maybe she should do like the Japanese artists, the mangakas. They create the concept, they kind of doodle the concept, and And then these mangakas have assistants, and they do all the boring job, that is inking, using the style of the master, the mangaka, right? So maybe when you are under a contract and you have to do this, you have to produce a lot of books in a fairly small amount of time. Of course, the job gets repetitive. And I can tell you because I'm the best example there. When I'm on vacation, and I don't get a lot of vacations really, I get Holy Week. So I get that week. And then Easter is the last day of vacation that we have. So I'm always looking forward to that week. And I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to cook all my food Saturday, Sunday, buy everything, and I'm just going to sit 8 hours and color all day. I cannot do it. And I'm not doing this as a job. And I can do it. So I wouldn't imagine what it is to be working 10 hours or 8 hours inking something because you have to deliver a new coloring book. So this is for you, view. I just need to add a little bit more intensity to the background and the stars. But this guy is done. Almost done. Unfortunately, it is not possible to see very, very well the glitter. I'm trying to move the book to see if you can spot the glittery watercolor. But when I put this and the sun is getting to my window in the early morning, you can get to see the wings shine. So I kind of like it. So if you have somewhere there a very cheap glittery set of watercolors, use it. You don't have to go to the expensive ones, not needed. And yeah, there you go. Kind of an interesting angel. But I'm going to put this book aside a little bit because I do want to finish my works in progress. That is this and this, now that I have remembered that I have this dragon. But this cat is also going to be finished. I'll probably finish this cat today. Because I don't know if it happens to you, if the viewers here, I don't know if you have noticed that black colors are very difficult to work when you have artificial light. So I normally don't like to color black animals or dogs that have kind of a dark fur or coat after the sun, because the artificial light really doesn't allow you to see all the details that you can give to the black and the different types of black that you can have. This one, of course, is a more intense one. I have heard that the Holbein's black is also very good, but I don't have a Holbein set. I do have a lot of spare colors. I like the white also. I think it's one of the best whites to use in color pencil, but I prefer not to color dark animals or landscapes after the sun is gone. I really dislike artificial light for coloring. It doesn't matter how good your lights are. Not for me. Okay. I need to do a little bit of his paw. But I have not used my... Well, what I'm going to do is pull this up so you can get to see on camera the different intensity that you have, not only from the print, but also from the Prismacolor. And that's exactly what we want. We want just to have fun and explore what the colors can do, right? And I was showing at the very beginning a trick that I'm going to show you again, that it is possible to save your hands. I'm going to continue working with this one. I'm going to add a little bit more intensity here. So I have seen people doing this type of effects, but sometimes it's much better to have your hands safe. I mean, as I said before, I do needle felting. I like it, but I'm afraid of needles. And as we said before, we have there you go. These knives, artistic knives, are good if you want to get some effects there, but then you can get your hand in the middle, always your hand not in front. Thank you, Tina. I like this one. I think the Google Drive is still working. And I was showing that I got this ceramic knife back in December to get rid of boxes and cut things. And then I saw somebody. Hi, Belinda. Welcome, coming in. I saw somebody taking this ceramic knife, and then instead of using the blade, you can use it to scratch off the waxy colors, but you need to have some color underneath. So that's why I put the yellow ochre and the mango color, and then with the blade, not where you cut, but upside down, you have the same effect, and it's much safer than using an artistic knife or a blade like this. And you can create effects, but the requirement is this. Then this probably will work for you. A ceramic blade is safe. You can touch it, no problem. Okay, I wouldn't dare to do this with any of the other blades that I have. But this is quite good for some effects. Just put the hard, the not so soft color as the base layer, and then it has to be Prismacolor on top. Oh yes, you can be using a fork, that's right. Or you can use a toothpick. I mean, there are a lot of different options to kind of scratch the surface a little bit and create something. Of course, the paper is important. Amazon paper, you have to be very careful to try this. I will use cardstock or watercolor paper. So, and this is Amazon Basics ceramic blade knife, and it looks like this. It's just this color. I had it to put some boxes apart and cut the seals of the Amazon packages. So this was in the kitchen, and now it's part of the art stash that I have here. So I'm going to end the stream here, guys, and I'm going to finish these 3 little works in progress that I have. That is a cat. So I'll try to finish before the sun goes down. Okay, so there you go. Oh yes, we'll try with something. Because, you don't feel that you're making the movement of the effort with the muscle in your shoulder. Okay, but you especially feel it here. Okay, when you're having pressure or when you're working with knives, you feel it here. So be very careful. Try a toothpick or a fork. I'll finish this dragon. I will add the darker shadows. So this one looks cute. So I'll finish this one. And I'll also finish, that's right, base color, Prisma black or brown, something dark. Then there you go. And I'm also going to finish this girl. She just needs a little bit of darker shadows. So anyway, you can get to see the finished pictures on Instagram. And thank you for coming. So see you tomorrow at Didi's. So take care. Have a great Sunday and enjoy your afternoon. So thank you very much.